Hello and welcome back to the ABC podcast. This is episode 10. My name is Alex and I am joined by Brandon Park, or as I have him listed on my phone, the Chinese food guy.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
100% serious.
Of course you would. I buy you Chinese food and look what you do.
I bought the Chinese food.
I gave you a free drink.
You gave me water.
I've given you a discount in the past before.
Oh, well, you also tried to charge me like $4,000 before.
Yeah, because it's that good.
Is it?
You can give the food back.
Well, it's right here.
That includes the one that you ate too.
Alright, anyway, it's just the two of us today. We're not going to have a super marathon show again this week, for better or for worse.
So it's not going to be like 3 hours this time.
Yeah, only 2:45.
We'll see.
So we've got a normal lineup for you. We've got old stuff to cover. We've got news from the last week. We've got, well, hopefully we have emails. And we've got Fan Fic Fights. So pretty basic stuff.
You sound so disappointed.
I'm still kind of coming off that high from last week.
That was a pretty epic
one. I really liked that episode. But, anyway, podcast news about us, not about stuff we talk about. This is our double-digit episode.
I know, right?
We hit 10 episodes.
We made it.
True.
Let's see if we can make it to, 20?
Sure.
I don't have hopes. But we'll see. All right, let's get started.
Okay, yeah. So, first thing, got a couple things to go over from 2 weeks ago, actually, because last week I was talking about how I didn't have time to research everything. So, the first thing... Okay, so 2 weeks ago we were talking about... Actually, I don't even remember what we were talking about. Anyway, the point is, I couldn't remember what university Dr. Selvig of Thor fame... I couldn't remember what university he was teaching at. Turns out it was the University of London, which one would reasonably assume is in London.
Right? Would it?
Well, I'll look it up and we'll tell you next week.
Please don't.
I will, because now I said it, so it has to happen.
At this point, we're probably going to be like, I found this inaccuracy maybe like 3 months ago when we first started doing this, and I know we haven't been on it for like 3 months, but you're going to like go all the way back in time and go through some Da Vinci Code thing and try to find some kind of like secret that we've covered up.
Next thing, so we were talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Brandon asked me how people become benders. Mm-hmm. So I looked into it, and basically there's two different stories. So in Avatar: The Last Airbender, what they say is that firebending was learned from dragons, earthbending was learned by badger moles, airbending was learned from air bison, and waterbending was learned from the moon.
So we went from animals to a planetary object?
Yep.
Badgers?
Badger moles.
Badger moles?
Yeah.
Why couldn't it be honey badgers? Honey badgers don't care?
Sure.
You ever saw that video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's classic. Anyway, but then in Avatar: The Legend of Korra, they come up with this... There's this story about the first Avatar, and about basically there's a story there, and I couldn't really find like a good succinct summary. Mm-hmm. And so basically, since I don't like The Legend of Korra, we're just going to stick with the original explanation.
Okay,
so.
That's fair enough. Whenever I watch these shows, we can talk about it.
Sounds good.
Which may not happen for a while, but...
It's okay, we got time.
That's true. But I will tell you guys what I did start watching, Jane the Virgin.
Why?
It's actually a good show.
Okay, whatever.
It's like, now I understand why my mother always liked novellas. Even though whenever she would watch them, I would end up watching them too. She would have to explain what was going on and what they were saying, but I would still get sucked in. I remember one time one of the few times where we did anything entertainment-wise together, we were sitting on the couch together watching a novella, and we were like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Yep.
Okay, so
classic Mexican mom.
Just to clarify,
what?
You will only watch Game of Thrones via YouTube clips, but you'll watch Jane the Virgin.
That's because Game of Thrones isn't on Netflix.
Yes or no?
No.
Question.
No.
Okay.
Because I'm planning to watch Game of Thrones.
Whatever.
All right?
Whatever.
Now, the means of how I accomplish that, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I'll hook you up.
Hey.
Okay. next thing. So now we're back to stuff to correct from last week.
Yep.
So first thing, I said in my intro to the show last week that we were going to have emails in the first segment with Vincent before Brandon and Eugene and Michael showed up. That was incorrect. We ended up having emails at the very end after our Batman vs. Superman talk. So I apologize for that.
There was so much shade after that talk.
What?
Just so much hate I just felt from you and Michael.
Because it wasn't a good movie.
It wasn't a terrible movie.
But it wasn't a good movie.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't good.
It didn't kill the universe.
Yet.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. So next, wait, did you listen to last week's episode?
Yeah.
Yet? Oh, okay.
I listened to this podcast too.
Oh, I'm just making sure.
You're not the only one who's like the biggest fan of it.
Well, there can only be one biggest fan.
Oh, it's the lemon grab? Only one? Don't worry, I'm not going to eat Alex. And you remember when lemon grab got really fat?
Yeah.
That was really freaky.
Yeah.
Because he's went from like being funny to being really, really like disturbing.
He was always disturbing.
He was always disturbing, but just the time period when he was fat lemon grab, it was just the worst because the Lemon Kingdom was just terrible. He wasn't funny anymore. He was just really, really mean. Now he's funny again.
Yeah.
Oh, acceptable.
Anyway, so last week I was talking about the ending of Sinestro's story in Injustice.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, to summarize, he goes out into space and he gets a hold of a White Lantern power battery, and he does so by defeating it's called the Life Entity. It's basically this giant, like, ethereal ghost lady thing who has, like, tentacle hair. She looked kind of weird, but he beat her. Well, I mean, it wasn't just him. He had the help of the Sinestro Corps.
Where are we going with this? Why did you mention this?
Because I couldn't remember the name of the creature who
okay.
guarded the power battery, and it was the Life Entity.
Ghost Lady was fine.
I guess. I don't know.
It's been a while since I played Injustice.
It's a good game.
It is. I stopped playing because you beat me every time.
Probably.
I do remember when it was your birthday though, like everyone was playing Injustice.
Yeah.
That was fun though.
Yeah, I don't know why people like that one so much. I prefer Smash, but I'm just better at Smash.
I think because I don't know, it's fun seeing superheroes smack down on each other.
I mean, yeah,
especially I remember specifically. I don't know. I forget who was playing Doomsday, but when he did his super move, everyone was like, "Whoa!"
His super move doesn't make any sense.
Why?
Because it's like,
it's because he punches them into the center of the earth.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
It's not supposed to make sense.
All right, whatever.
If it made sense, the minute he punched somebody, they would explode on impact.
I guess. Do you watch what's it called? Vsauce 3?
No, but I didn't know about them.
Okay, so they did this one video called "What Would Happen If Superman Punched You?"
Yeah.
Basically, because he was playing Injustice, and in Superman's super move, he punches you, and you skyrocket into outer space, and then he smacks you back down. It's kind of a boring.
Yeah, especially with Superman, you would think something more, but he just punches you and he punches you down again.
Well, whatever.
Who's your favorite like super move in Injustice?
My favorite super move? The Flash. Definitely the Flash. Yeah.
Mine's Deathstroke.
Okay, Deathstroke's kind of cool, but
yeah. I don't know, so many of them. They're
really
good.
That's true. But anyway,
I like Ares. Ares too.
Oh, yeah, Ares is
Ares.
Anyway, so Vsauce 3, What Would Happen if Superman Punched You? Basically, he came to the conclusion that with all Superman's strength, you would evaporate, like you would cease to exist.
That's a nice way to go out.
I guess.
Just like, psh. Man, that was true. Can you imagine, like, in Man of Steel or Batman vs. Superman, every time he hit somebody, it just disappear off screen?
Seems like a kind of one-sided fight.
I mean, it's Superman. What do you expect?
Okay, so I guess that's... Wait, did we go off of a tangent?
Yeah, we're going on a tangent.
Injustice?
Yeah.
You asked me a question.
Yeah, because like we were talking about Sinestro's story,
Right.
and I forgot that you had mentioned this. So I was
Right.
like, "Why are we talking about
Okay.
this?" And then we just went into Injustice.
Okay. So yeah, Injustice is a fun game.
It is.
There's a mobile version that I don't think is quite as good, but I know a lot of people like it.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
If you're on the bus like me and just play it, it's really fun. It kills your battery pretty bad though.
No,
Yeah,
I feel like most mobile games do though.
pretty much.
All right, let's move on. I got a couple Star Wars things to go over. So first of all, last week I was talking about a pop vinyl, Walgreens exclusive pop vinyl that I bought. I called him Plo Koon, which I'm not 100% sure that's not how you pronounce it, but it's only one O in the...
In the cartoon, they pronounce it Plo Koon.
Okay, see that? Okay, yeah, so it is Plo Koon.
Yeah, they say Plo. Well, yeah, they say Plo Koon.
Okay. Anyway, and then I also said that, so he gets shot down in Order 66 in his starship, and I said I couldn't remember if he was on the council or not, and he is, in fact, a member of the Jedi Council.
Do you want to talk about that one specific person?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, talk about him.
Okay, so there was this dude in my office yesterday, and so every day at lunch we have like a staff meeting, I guess you call it, and
Every day?
yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, it's not long, it's just...
Yeah, I know, just... Anyways.
Anyway, so he was there. He's not one of our employees. He's like a just consultant, I guess. Anyway, he's just hanging out. Well, not hanging out. Like, he was doing productive things. Anyway, so he was there. Anyway, so this guy, he is freakishly tall and skinny. He's probably at least 6'4", I would guess, if not taller.
Damn.
And he has a really long neck. And so I was sitting there, and I'm just, like, looking at him, and I'm like, this guy reminds me of somebody. And it's like, oh, I know. He reminds me of the guy on the Jedi Council who also has a super tall neck. So I looked him up, and his name is Yarel Poof.
Yeah. You don't see him in episode 2 or 3, but he's in episode 1.
Yeah. And also, if you get if you get curious, look up Robot Chicken. His story arc on Robot Chicken is super funny. Anyway, Plo Koon. He's a Jedi Master.
He's actually one of my favorite Jedis.
Okay, I don't really know anything about him other than that the Order 66 thing. What?
What? No, I'm just saying, just blew him off just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, he has a really cool backstory, but that's whatever.
Okay, well, that's not pertinent to this discussion.
Really? On this show, you're gonna talk to me about what's pertinent and what's not?
Would you like to explain his backstory?
No, because you know why? I want to give some people new stuff, so let's keep going.
Okay.
And I'll talk about his backstory. So I forgot what kind of... Here's some more stuff you can research. What kind of species Plo Koon is. I just know that when he was a Padawan, he was one of the more difficult ones because he had this strange combination of he would be extremely humble, but he would also be really stubborn, and he would be patient, but he wouldn't listen. So he was a bit of a challenge as a Padawan. And a thing with him and with his species is that they have a very black and white view of the world. So it's not surprising that a lot of times they'll go into extremes in their beliefs. So that's why I really like him as a Jedi, because you see that the Jedi don't carry just this one. They're supposed to have a united point of view of the world, but you still see that there are differences. And what I also like about it is like the Clone Wars, they expand his character a lot more. So you see him be more involved in the story, and especially with the main characters. So you kind of get the sense of who he is as a person, and he's really cool. He's stoic, but he also has a sense of humor, and he's also a great father figure to Ahsoka, or not father figure, mentor figure to Ahsoka. Alex has no idea what I'm talking about because
I know
he's
who
never seen.
Ahsoka is.
You watch the cartoons?
I watched the Clone Wars movie.
Oh, so the movie that came out?
It was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of hard to not know who Ahsoka is, because she's just by cultural absorption
And toys.
Yeah.
And marketing. Are you looking at Plo Koon's species?
Yeah, he's a Keldor.
Keldor, that's right.
Do you know why he wears the mask thing? Is that like a part of his alien? Like, is that how they all look, or is it like so he can breathe?
Oh, because
oxygen
on his
or
planet,
what?
I forget if it's. You might need to look it up right now because the thing is, on his planet, his species can live without it, But off planet, I think it's too pressurized for them.
I
So
mean,
they,
that makes sense.
yeah, so they need goggles and a mask to
Oh,
survive.
yeah, there's a...
Yeah, without the goggles and the mask, they look really freaky.
I feel like he looks freakier with the mask.
I always thought he looked really cool, so that's why I really liked him as a Jedi.
Yeah, well, then you should go buy the pop. If you can find it.
It's on my to-do list. I have like 20-something things in my Amazon cart.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, and now it's like even more now. I want so much, and I can't have it. Struggles.
If only we were Buddhists, then none of this would matter. Or if we didn't live in a capitalist society.
Well, what are you implying?
Down
Alex?
with the bourgeoisie.
Okay, let's do it. Start a revolution on this podcast. Man, I feel like we're gonna get like
Shout outs to me IRL.
Shush. All right, what's next?
All right, so then another one of the exclusive pop vinyls from Walgreens, Ree's, I was talking about last week. Found out his name. And
That's the guy with the 3 eyes, right?
Yeah. So he worked for Jabba the Hutt, and his job was to take care of Jabba's pet, named Bubocular. It's like a frog thing. And that's what Ree's did.
Oh, okay.
Why they made a pop of him and not, like, God knows how many other
Star Wars.
marginally more important Star Wars characters, I can't say. But
Maybe they just wanted the species.
maybe.
Bro, I have no idea. But you can technically make a pop vinyl out of anything.
I mean, I don't know about anything.
A good 99% of things.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they don't really have any of, like, inanimate objects. I mean,
I bet you if pop vinyl like released something like that, people would still buy
like
it.
a lightsaber pop, like, would that really be a pop?
If it comes in the box, I guess technically.
I
I
mean-
promise you, people would buy it.
I feel like the, like, hallmark of a pop vinyl is, like, the big head and the big chibi eyes. And if it doesn't have a face, then you can't really have that. I'm trying to think of any that don't, but, I mean, nothing's coming to mind.
Besides R2, even though technically his little thing.
Yeah, his dome still bobbles.
I guess so. I don't know. What?
Yeah, anyway, I'll hit up Pop Price Guide and see if I can find one that doesn't really match that description, but I guess that's not important. Next thing, we were talking about the death of Agent Carter. Well, not death. Cancellation. TV death. You know what I mean. Agent Carter. And I'll let Brandon weigh in on it in
Man,
just a second.
You just spoiled that.
What? No, she doesn't actually die in the show. I mean, they canceled it.
Yeah, but it's like, she does technically die.
Oh, really?
In the show?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, I'm just talking about that. She dies. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not what I meant.
You know, I mean, it still relates to it.
Whatever.
Okay, anyways.
Anyway.
What did you say about it?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I said that I thought it was set in the 50s. It was actually set in the 40s, so right after World War II ends.
Is that all you had to say about it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nothing about it being canceled?
Well, I mean, we talked about that last week. If you want to say something, go ahead.
It sucks, I think. I only saw like half of the first episode, though, so I can't really weigh in too much. But I thought it was a good thing to explore with her because she was a great supporting character.
Yeah.
And I think they had a lot to offer with that. And plus, there's the whole, talk that people always have with Marvel not giving female leads any attention. And I thought that was a good thing to have.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
got
I've seen a lot of people trying to like sign petitions and stuff to get it for Netflix to pick it up. I feel like that could work. I don't know.
I hope it does.
I would be okay with it, but
It's not something like you're really, really pushing for.
yeah, there's a lot of other characters that I'd rather see get a Netflix show before Agent Carter.
Oh, like the one guy in Captain America Winter Soldier. He worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., but he's actually working for Hydra, the bald guy with glasses who got,
That could be interesting. Agents of Hydra.
Yeah, Agents of Hydra.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. Everything just begins with Hail Hydra and ends with Hail Hydra.
Next. Okay, so last week I was talking about Tsum Tsum. Just trying to give an explanation of what Tsum Tsum are, or what a Tsum Tsum is?
Explain it to me again.
Okay, so they're little plushes.
Yeah.
They come in different sizes, but the main size is about this big.
Okay.
And they're cylindrical. And they have characters' faces on it. And each set, or twice a month, they release new sets of Tsum Tsum. Not Zoom Zooms, they're Tsum Tsums.
Tsum Tsums. Can I believe we're actually having to talk about the pronunciation of this thing?
Oh, so when I was looking up, what I'm about to tell you about the Tsum Tsum, I actually found out why they're called Tsum Tsums.
Okay.
It's actually a play on a Japanese word. I think it's Tsum, but I'm not 100% on that. But anyway, the Japanese word means to stack.
Okay.
And the whole point of the Tsum Tsums, I guess, is that you're supposed to like stack them on top of each other to like make little pyramids, I guess.
How did you even find this?
So I listened to this podcast
Of course you did.
called The Collector's Edition. It's a spin-off of the Toys for Games podcast where they talk about Amiibo, Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions, Skylanders, all things Toys to Life. They have a spin-off podcast called The Collector's Edition where they talk about the other things they collect that are not Toys to Life. So pop vinyls, Tsum Tsums, those are the main two things, but just other kind of random things. I really like the Collector's Edition. As a matter of fact, I sponsor that show.
You sponsor it?
I sponsor it.
Wow.
Yeah, so go check that out, and you can hear Josh and Jason talk about all kinds of stuff.
Shameless advertising.
Yeah, hey man, I'm sponsoring it. I gotta try and rope people in. But anyway, so that's Tsum Tsum.
Man, we were talking about like downward capitalism just a couple of minutes ago.
That's Tsum Tsum. They stack. They're cute. I mean, I don't collect them personally just because there's a lot of them.
I was gonna be like, you ain't into cute, Alex? You don't like cute?
I like cute.
You like cute?
Yeah. But anyway, there's a lot of them, and I already don't have enough space to display all of the stuff that I collect, so...
It's okay. You just have to like slowly like reach into your roommate's territory. So like when like... Say that your roommate, he opens the door one day and he just sees like this entire stack of them just like looking back at him. He's like, oh.
It's like, hey Armando, I think you're gonna need to sleep on the couch from now on. I took up your bed space.
Priority. While he's going to go eat cereal, like he starts like pouring it and they just like come falling out.
Anyway, but I couldn't remember the name of the Tsum Tsum set that came out previously. Now, between last show and now, there actually was another set that came out that was Finding Dory. The set before that was actually Avengers Part 2. Mm-hmm. So there was a first Avengers series that was Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, and Nick Fury, I think. And then Series 2 was Vision, Black Panther, Hawkeye, Bucky, Ant-Man?
I'm not sure. I can't help you with this one.
Anyway, there was a bunch of Tsum Tsums from Civil War, but it wasn't called a Civil War set. It was called the Avengers Series 2. So yeah. And then also, in the Civil War, well, I guess not Civil War, the Avengers Series 2, I said that there were new Cap and Iron Man Tsum Tsums. That was incorrect. They were in the Avengers Series 1. Because I guess they're technically not based off the movies. They're based off the comic books. So, yeah. And then also I said that the first Tuesday of the month was a classic Disney set, and the third Tuesday of the month was either Star Wars or Marvel. But that's obviously not correct because the first series of this month was Marvel and the second series was Disney. So I don't even know if they have a pattern. I don't collect Tsum Tsums, so I kind of just follow a few people who collect Tsum Tsums, and I just kind of pick things up here and there. So yeah, that's all my Tsum Tsum corrections. I think we've talked about Tsum Tsums enough.
You think so?
I don't know. You're giving me this weird look like you're really intrigued.
I don't know. I feel like the name is going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. Tsum Tsum.
Tsum.
It sounds like a good Pokemon name.
Well, Disney took it, so I guess they can't really do that now.
You never know.
Or at least I'm assuming. Mic drop. I'm not gonna drop this. This mic was really expensive.
I will.
Okay, last old thing. Kept this relatively short, I guess. Last new
I'm
thing.
surprised. Only 30 minutes in.
We were talking about Booster Gold, Booster Gold movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of his robo buddy. Do you remember what it is?
Red Wing.
No.
Actually, I don't remember what it's.
His name is Skeets.
Skeets?
Skeets. Yeah. Voiced by Mark Hamill.
Really?
No. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Not Mark Hamill. I don't know why I said that. Voiced by Billy West.
Okay, I was like, Mark. I don't.
No, not Mark
So
Hamill.
Billy West.
Yeah, Billy West.
Billy West.
Billy West, super talented voice actor.
Mhm.
One of my favorites for sure.
You know, I think we should have a segment one day. I don't know when, but we should talk about voice actors
Okay.
because they do such amazing work on cartoons and
True.
video games.
True.
That's it. Were you good?
Yeah? Okay.
Have you ever thought about being a voice actor?
I mean, not seriously, kind of just like fantasy, I
Mhm.
guess. I feel like it would be cool.
I think so too.
I don't think I have a particularly well-suited voice to voice acting.
You could be like one of the. You could be like Minion number 3.
Sure.
And when I mean Minion, I mean like Minions.
Yeah, no, I got that.
No, like yeah. You ruined the joke, Alex.
No, you ruined it when you tried to explain it.
Shut up. Anyways.
All right, you
going.
want to move on to new stuff?
Yes. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. First thing, so last week when we were talking about Civil War, we had a little bit of breaking news. We talked about how Michael B. Jordan was cast in the upcoming Black Panther movie. And we kind of didn't really talk about it too much.
Yeah, because like we just kept talking about Black
Yeah.
Panther.
Yeah.
And we had just actually found that out minutes ago.
Yeah. So I figured we could
Talk
kind
about
of.
it?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much to go on really. They haven't really said anything.
But what are your thoughts?
So I don't know Michael B. Jordan too well. So I know he was in the new Fantastic Four movie, which I didn't see.
For obvious reasons.
I mean, I still want to see it. And then I know he was in Creed, which I also didn't see. Has he been in any other like big movies?
Big
that I would
movies?
know of?
I'm not sure. Those are the two like
Yeah.
most recognizable.
Yeah.
One bad and one good. He's been in different TV shows.
Okay. Anyway, so I don't really know what he's like as an actor, so
He's pretty versatile.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously we already have Black Panther cast. That's not going to get changed. So, I think it would be interesting to see him play a villain.
Yeah, there were like speculations that he'd be either a villain or maybe one of Black Panther's friends or maybe an American agent working in Wakanda.
I mean, maybe. He's obviously he's got some name recognition because he's been in 2 pretty big movies. So I feel like if he was just like a side character, like T'Challa, one of T'Challa's friends, I feel like that would be kind of a waste. That seems kind of unlikely to me. So I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say that he was cast as the villain. That seems likely to me.
Okay. I'd say I'm putting my money on a friend.
Okay.
Because friends can still have big parts. I mean, look at Bucky.
Yeah, I
He was the
guess.
friend, and now he's just as big as Captain America.
Yeah, I guess.
Cost him an arm, though. Almost a leg.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I had to. I saw the opening and I had to take it.
Yes, you did. So yeah, Michael B. Jordan. He's like Michael Jordan, but not as good. Only a B.
Only a B.
Only a B.
Actually, did you see what Kevin Feige said about the Black Panther
Kevin
movie?
who?
He's the executive producer of Marvel.
Oh,
He's the guy that always talks about the Marvel films.
no.
He said that I think Black Panther is going to be 90% African or African American.
Like the cast?
Yeah, the cast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
What else would I be talking about?
I don't know.
But yeah, the cast is going to be 90% African or African American. So, I don't know. I thought it was a cool thing.
Yep.
Thanks for the input, Alex.
Okay, so next up, it was announced this week that there's going to be a Harley Quinn movie.
Really?
You didn't see that?
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. It's officially in the works. Apparently...
So we can get this, but we can't get a Black Widow movie.
No, remember they said they were committing to the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, but the DC Cinematic Universe hasn't even been around for that long.
Yeah, well... Anyway, so apparently when Margot Robbie was like researching for her role as Harley Quinn, she said she like fell in love with the bombshells and the like DC female universe, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so she really pushed for a new Harley Quinn movie, and I guess they think Suicide Squad is warranting that, so that's cool. I
think it's good when the actors and the actresses like their characters so much that they're willing
like
to
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, especially him.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Because I just like to see that they see the character as more than just a paycheck.
Yeah.
They actually become involved in the character itself.
Yeah. In the report that I read, they... Actually, I don't remember specifically what it said, but they kind of made it seem like they're going to bring in Batgirl and or the Birds of Prey in the movie. So I think that's a really good move on their part to have Harley Quinn facing off with female antagonists, protagonists, heroes, whatever. You know what I mean? To not...
It's a mostly female cast, though.
Yeah, to not, bring in the Joker as someone who's... manipulating her or have her fight Batman or what have you.
Yeah. So it's like changing up the formula.
Yeah, basically. I think that'll be interesting and also get the feminists to calm down.
Speaking of birds, do you know that Court of Owls they made an appearance on Gotham?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why was that funny?
I don't know. This is just a weird segue.
I don't know, because he said the Birds of Prey. I'm like, speaking of birds. But yeah, apparently the Court of Owls made an appearance on Gotham.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is surprising because they haven't been around for that long.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've only recently came out. A couple years ago.
Interesting. They were... spoilers for Batman vs. Robin, but they were a big part of that. And I don't know, they just seemed really fleshed out in that movie. It just didn't really occur to me like when they were introduced, but that's cool.
Yeah.
And the main dude, whatever, or the main bad guy dude, I forget what his name is. You know what I'm talking about?
Talon?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
He's really cool.
He's actually, he was actually a really, really good new creation that the writers came up with.
Yeah, I agree. And then Owlman.
Yeah.
Not a part of the Court of Owls, but he's
I feel like he would get along with them.
Probably.
It's like, what's password? Who?
But yeah, Owlman, voiced by James Woods in Justice League.
Oh, dang.
It's not Justice League Doom. It's the other one.
Two Earths? Or
no.
I know which one this is. We are not going to talk about this next week. Talk about something else. I'm looking this up.
Okay. So, actually, that was one of my favorite DC animated movies. Yeah. Okay, so my favorite DC animated movie, Flashpoint Paradox, hands down. Very closely followed by Assault on Arkham.
I have yet to see that one.
Oh my gosh.
I still have to watch that.
So good. So good. And then after that one, probably this next one that Brandon's about to tell me what it is.
Crisis on Two Earths.
Crisis on Two Earths. Super good. So if you're into DC animated movies or just DC in general, do yourself a favor, go watch it. Super good.
True.
That's the one where Superman says that he can revolve the Earth backwards, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
Is it that one?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I also remember in Justice League Doom, he kind of mentions that when Vandal Savage, he sends up a missile.
Oh, is it that one? Maybe it is.
And then he says, like, maybe I can, like, move the Earth out of orbit or out of position to, like, dodge the missile. And Batman's like, I don't think I can even, like, begin to tell you what's wrong with that.
It's like, even if I had a week, I couldn't tell you all the reasons that wouldn't work.
That's why you gotta love Kevin Conroy when he plays Batman. He just he throws shade at everybody.
All right. So I know this is pretty early on in the show, but we're actually going to take a break. Brandon and I are going to watch a couple movie trailers, and we will come back, but you will get to listen to some awesome video game music as per usual. So enjoy that, and we'll be back in a second with our lovely voices. And we're back. Alright, so first up, we're going to talk about the new Assassin's Creed trailer.
So what do you want to start with this?
Where do I want to start?
I am a god.
Okay, sure, let's start with that. Okay, so if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. It's 2 minutes long. Yeah. It's whatever. They use super weird music.
I admit I was very confused by that, because I like the song, and I know it's a thing nowadays to add contemporary music to trailers, but
like Hamilton.
Yes, but that doesn't usually happen until like later on and towards marketing. Like whenever you like put out the first trailer or the second trailer, it's still this grand epic or whatnot, and then you add some like dubstep or rock music or whatever to just liven it up a little bit. So I wasn't totally against it, but I don't think they should have, for the first trailer, put that.
Yeah, it was weird. That's all I have to say.
What did you think about the trailer?
It was okay.
Have you played Assassin's Creed?
I never have. I own the first one on Steam.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah. My understanding is that, well, I know that now the story, the whole thing about the Animus is just like super convoluted and really serves no purpose other than to try and tie all of the games together, but they don't do a very good job.
I don't know about the latest ones because I haven't looked into them.
They're just super... I don't think the story is a big selling point of the movies. No, sorry, not the movies, the games. Which makes it kind of weird to me that they are choosing to make this into a movie, because it's supposed to be, when you play the games, it's about immersing yourself into the character of Altair and not about... I mean, it's not about the story, and movies are a lot about the story.
Most of the time.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, there's the whole visual element, and Assassin's Creed at this point is a pretty old game. Doesn't look as great as, you know, the newer Assassin's Creed games or other
I
current
feel like
games.
it holds up pretty well.
I mean, I haven't looked at it. I don't even know if there's like an HD remaster or anything.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty old at this point. I mean, it came out whack when I was in high school, so that's almost 10 years at this point. So, you know, no matter how great it looked back then, even if it still does look relatively good, a newer game is going to look better, just period. So, yeah, I mean, there's the whole thing from a visual perspective where we can make the movie look compelling, but if it doesn't have a good story, as many video game based movies tend to not have.
That's like the hesitation I still have, because so far it looks okay. And the thing with Assassin's Creed is, even though they did focus on one particular character during the present time, it can constantly shift with characters. And if I don't want to call it the expanded universe, but if you look deeper into the Assassin's Creed lore, they actually do a good job about fleshing out the character and the stories. So that part I have no problem with. I don't know how they're executing it in the movie. And plus, the Animus looks a little bit different because instead of the thing that you lie down or you sit in,
Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't really know what the machine looks like in the games, but in this one,
in the games, it's either this thing you lie in or this machine that you sit in.
basically it just like hooks up to your brain, right?
No, not even that. It just
Oh, really?
I think it depends on which model the Animus, but it's not like the Matrix where it's like
Oh, okay.
into your back of your head.
Well, yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. Are you going to see this movie?
Probably.
Oh,
Because
really?
I really like Assassin's Creed is one of my favorite franchises. So I've always...
They're so mainstream.
I know, right? So I was excited to hear that because I know the developers and creators did like this little mini movie. I believe it was Assassin's Creed... I want to say Bloodlines. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong with that. But it was a prequel to Assassin's Creed 2. And even though some parts you could tell were CGI, I thought overall it was a really good attempt at making live action Assassin's Creed movies. So so far the hope is there. The hope is there, and I hope my hope isn't crushed like everything else in my life. But no, I'm kidding. Yes.
That got super dark.
Yeah, I know, right? But they have really good actors so far. They have Michael Fassbender. They have Marion Cotillard.
Yeah.
They have Jeremy Irons, who I saw like
really?
I forgot. Yeah, he's the guy in All Black. I forgot he was in the trailer when I first saw it. Either that or he's Alfred 2.0. And a lot of the settings obviously had to use CGI. There's no way they could have rebuilt everything from scratch.
Or could they?
I don't know. With the Animus, you never know. But they also have a good amount of practical shots, so you can see that they shot some stuff on location, or they use an actual set to do it. So I'm really happy about that. So visually, I'm really pleased about it. Story-wise, I don't know too much about the story, but Assassin's Creed stories, I like them. I understand why people say they're convoluted or it's not like, but I'm a fan of them. So I have, again, hope for this movie.
Yeah. How do you feel about Michael Fassbender in the main role?
In that? I'm okay with it. He wouldn't have been my first choice.
Yeah.
Mainly because, like, when did he start getting big?
The first time I remember seeing him in a movie was in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. Because I know he's had a really great run of movies so far.
Well,
Well, he delivers his part.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with that is, like, you worry that you're going to get tired of the person because they come up all the time.
Right. Well,
Like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He's coming, like, he's always in the movie.
Well, the thing about the Assassin's Creed games is that there's so many different time periods, so you're not always playing as the same person.
Yeah.
And yes, they are all historically, or not historically, ancestrally linked. Like, they're not going to all look the same. So I'm okay with them using Michael Fassbender as the guy in the future and then going back and it's still him.
Oh, no, yeah, because, like, actually, they explained that in Assassin's Creed 1 because it's like you're living out your ancestors.
No, I know that.
So,
But
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, because...
they don't all look the same.
Yeah, I'm just saying because he has another lead role and he's, this is obviously going to be a big budget film and he's already in a big budget film with Apocalypse.
Okay.
And then probably is going to get another big budget film, so it's just so much Fassbender. So far I'm okay with it because he's a great actor, so I'm okay. It's just like kind of like how we always talk about, like, you're getting overwhelmed with superhero movies because they just like keep doing it. So it's kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think actors can suffer from that same thing.
Yeah, I guess. Well, but what I was going to say before you interrupted me was if there were to be an Assassin's Creed 2 movie, I would be okay with them using Michael Fassbender as the guy from the future, but then having someone else in the role for the actual assassin in the past.
What time period would you want them to visit?
Well, the second one was the Renaissance.
I was actually surprised by this one. They said the Spanish Inquisition.
Right.
Which I was like, that's pretty cool. We've never really had anything really focused on
Is that not when the first one was set?
The first one was set in the Crusades. The Third Crusade.
Interesting.
Yeah. First one, Third Crusade. Second one, Renaissance. Brotherhood, which is like 2.0.
Yeah.
2 was still Renaissance.
Yeah. And the third one was the American Revolution.
Yeah, and then there was like Assassin's Creed Revelations was still Renaissance period. The ancestor just went to the Ottoman Empire. And then there's one with the French Revolution, and then one during I think it was 1800s Britain or London.
The most recent one,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
And then there's the one where
England.
you fight as a pirate.
Yeah, Black Flag.
You get to throw a jar of dirt at people. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. I take it back. But before we go into this, so yeah, where do you want them to visit?
If I were to pick another time period,
Yeah,
what about Wild West?
Wild West.
That could be weird but interesting. Like very
Yeah,
Back to
actually,
the Future 3.
I could see that. They probably will make it work.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would have never thought about that.
What would you pick?
What I pick?
Yeah.
My first pick would be World War II, but that's so done out
Yeah.
all the time. I have to think of something a little bit more creative. Ancient Egypt.
Okay.
Ancient Egypt.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Where you jump off the Sphinx
Yeah.
and fall into a pile of sand.
Or like they're like building a pyramid and he jumps off and he breaks the pyramid. I was like, damn it, again. But that's a good thing with Assassin's Creed. You have all of history to play in.
Yeah.
So do whatever you want.
That's true.
Believe it or not, Assassin's Creed, I learned a lot of history from that. So when we did the Renaissance in my world history class, when we got to the Renaissance part, I did so well. so well. And my teacher was like, wow, how did you know about this? I was like, yeah, you know, games. She's like, what? Yeah.
You'd be like, I watched a lot of TMNT as a child that taught me about Renaissance artists. What I was going to say about Michael Fassbender is I really like him as an actor.
Yeah.
But I think he's a little bit older. He's almost 40.
Is he really?
Yeah, I looked it up. He's I mean, that's not super old, but that's not super young either.
Especially in the entertainment industry, that's like higher up there.
Yeah, so I probably would have picked someone a little bit younger. Just because I'm sure it's a very physically demanding role.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised at how much muscle he had, like in the trailer. I was like, damn, son.
Well, I mean, look at Hugh Jackman. He's
True.
like almost 50, and he's more ripped than I'll ever be.
Yeah, me too. We're doomed. We're never gonna be like that, Alex. Doomed to be skinny forever.
I'm not skinny.
You're fine.
Whatever.
You're beautiful in my eyes, Alex.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Okay.
Okay, so I was born in 1992. I don't know when the original Ghostbusters came out, but I didn't see it until I was well into my teenage years. And I don't even know if I've seen Ghostbusters 2. So there's a lot of people who have this like really like weirdly obsessed mind for Ghostbusters. And that is not me at all.
I've actually never even seen Ghostbusters.
I mean, it's good. It's a classic. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely recommend watching it. But I don't have this...
Like how everybody else has like, on the internet.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm coming at this with a lot more of a...
Open mind?
Yeah. And this movie... Okay, regardless of the gender thing, like, I don't care. Like, I'm totally fine with them being women. Like, I don't care. It doesn't look funny to me.
I think it actually looks entertaining. I will admit that one part, the trailer that we saw, it had Chris Hemsworth say, "We're gonna need a bigger boat." I'm like, that's such a cliche thing to say.
Yeah.
But everything else I was okay with. Maybe because like a lot of them are on Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
and I trust them to know what they're doing.
There's a difference between entertaining and funny. The original Ghostbusters was a comedy more than anything else. I mean, yeah, there's some sci-fi elements, obviously. There's like some light horror elements and some action stuff, but it's supposed to be a funny movie, and I feel like that's what they're trying to go for. At least in the trailers, it's trying to make it seem like they're trying to be funny because all of the women on there are, comedic actresses. But I didn't laugh once in either of the two trailers.
I can't say that because I actually did chuckle and laugh. The first trailer I saw was in theaters, and I was actually surprised by it. I was like, this is not bad. I can see why people would be upset about it, but I would actually go watch this movie. So that's just my mindset, but I do understand where people are coming from when they say regardless from the gender thing, it's just not funny. So, but that's because I just see both sides of the coin. I am a little bit more optimistic with these things.
I don't know, man. I don't really care. Like, I don't have anything invested in this.
I bet you I know how the movie ends.
How do you think it ends?
Chris Hemsworth calls upon Odin to help out. Take him back into the realms.
Heimdall!
You know, I actually do feel a little bad about Idris Elba playing Heimdall. Because he had such a small role.
I don't know. We haven't seen either of the movies.
Yeah, but it's just like...
Okay, this is not going to be spoilery, but in Thor: The Dark World, Heimdall definitely gets his moment to shine.
Are you talking about when he like destroys the ship?
Yes.
And
okay, well, we spoiled it.
And he throws the sword into the engine.
That was super awesome. That was my favorite part of the movie.
He's like, I'm canceling the apocalypse. And like, he destroys the ship. Like, I've canceled it. And he looks around. Nope, I didn't cancel it. But I do think that Chris Hemsworth is going to call upon the Asgardians to help them out.
That would be an interesting take. So speaking of Thor, let's talk about the newly announced full cast.
You're welcome.
Newly announced full cast for Thor Ragnarok. So there's a couple people in there that I hadn't really heard of. There is
Jeff Goldblum.
I was getting to that last. There's Carl Urban, who apparently was in the Star Trek movies and Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
I'm actually going to look him up real quick.
Okay. There's Tessa Thompson. Never heard of her either. There is...
Oh, I know Carl Urban.
There's Cate Blanchett, who... I like Kate. She was the bad guy in Indiana Jones: Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Yeah. That's kind of all I know her from.
Oh, my gosh.
But most importantly, and most puzzlingly, I must say, is Jeff Goldblum. Mm-hmm. Jeff Goldblum of Jurassic Park and Independence Day fame. Also, one of the father of one of the main characters on this really funny show that I watched called The League.
Okay.
Have you ever watched The League?
No.
Oh, it's so funny. It's really bad.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Anyway, Jeff Goldblum.
Probably calls into aliens. That's how, Ragnarok happens.
And the Indominus Rex.
Yeah. And Thor's like, oh, Midgard always messes up all the time.
Yeah, I can't even...
I was surprised about Jeff Goldblum.
I really can't, make a prediction about who Jeff Goldblum is going to play. Now, I have to say, I really hope he plays someone from Earth and not an Asgardian, because that would just be too much for me to handle.
Yeah, because I'm saying everybody else, I could see them as either Asgardian or somebody from the other realms.
Yeah.
Him, I don't know. Oh, what if Surtur comes in?
Who?
Surtur.
I don't know who that is.
He's the fire demon. He was in I don't know if he was in Earth's Mightiest Hero where he gets mentioned.
Okay. I mean, it's been a while since I watched that.
Anyways, he's a big antagonist in the Thor world.
Right on.
Yeah.
That would be weird. Yeah, I just want him to play what? He could be like Jane Foster's dad.
So they just forget about Jane Foster. He'd be like, hey, you.
No,
you.
I did not say that.
I know, but it was like, you were with my daughter. You took her to an entire different realm. What did you do to her? It's like, it's really nice to meet you, though. Heard great things about you.
Okay, so that's my official prediction. Jeff Goldblum is Mr. Foster.
They're like nothing alike.
Whatever. They're brunette. That's good enough.
So that automatically makes them related?
Yeah. That makes us related,
they
too.
They are House Targaryen. They don't have the same color hair. You can tell from that.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, fine. What's next?
So it was announced this week that Nintendo is getting into movies. They will be licensing their intellectual properties, their franchises, into movies again, because we all remember the Super Mario Brothers movie and how awesome that was.
Yep. How do you feel about that?
I'm Actually, I'm really excited.
Really?
Yeah. Movie telling or storytelling, movie creation has come a long way since the Super Mario Brothers movie was made. And I think the time is right for Nintendo to leverage their huge franchises into the multi-billion-dollar movie industry. And I think there's a lot of really interesting stories that Nintendo can tell on the big screen that just work better as a movie than it would as a video game.
Let me ask.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're just being biased because you like Nintendo a lot?
Probably. But I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I understand. And there's nothing wrong with that because you have hope in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really easy for me to say, oh, Nintendo is going to ruin Zelda or Metroid or whatever movie they end up making into a movie, in whatever game.
Man, a Metroid movie would be awesome.
I'm getting there.
I'm giving my 2 cents.
Whatever game they end up making into a movie, it would be really easy for me to say, like, oh, this is going to ruin the game. First of all, no, it's not. Like, the games are still going to be good regardless of how these movies end up. Like, I own the Super Mario Brothers movie on DVD, and I only watched it once. It was bad, but like I don't regret buying it. I don't regret watching it, and I still really enjoy the Mario games. So I don't have a problem with them making a bad movie. But I also think that there's a lot of potential for a lot of really cool stories that they could tell as movies. So, Brandon, what Nintendo IP would you like to see made into a movie?
Well, since you made me shut up, Metroid.
Okay.
I would love to see Metroid.
No, I think that's a really, really strong contender. A few years ago, there was a rumor that there was going to be a Metroid Star Fox crossover game.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously didn't happen. But everyone got super hyped. Like, that was one of the most hyped I remember being and seeing a lot of other people being. And at that point, I'd never played a Metroid game or a Star Fox game. I now have one of each game under my belt, and I really like the Metroid game that I played. Star Fox is whatever, but I think that would be a really cool movie.
Wait, what's Star Fox?
Star Fox 64.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It follows the same formula with each game.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
It's for me, it's really fun.
Except for Star Fox Assault.
It's
And
really,
Star Fox
really,
Adventures.
really frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you do as many barrel rolls as you can, and it doesn't work out sometimes.
Yeah, so I think that would be a cool movie that they would probably never make into a game. So I think that would be really cool. As far as what I would want to see, I mean, a Zelda movie would be really cool if it was done well.
It'd be like Game of Thrones style. All dark and everything.
Yeah. I think...
And then Link dies in the first movie. Like Ned Stark.
Spoilers. I hate you. Spoilers. No, I think Metroid is probably the best candidate for that movie. I mean, obviously a Mario movie, they could do a million different things with that. A Pikmin movie, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll just see. What about a Duck Hunt movie?
A Duck Hunt movie? Yeah, why not? We already have Howard the Duck with Marvel. Bring more ducks in. I'm trying to think what else. Captain Falcon?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
They're like Fast and Furious, but
in the future.
F-Zero style.
Yeah. And every time like somebody tries to fight him, it's like, fucking punch. Punch him out of the way. But, well, I'm cool with that. I'll just do that. I think now we can like say that there's a slight hope for video games to make it into the movie industry.
Yeah.
Not saying that don't put too much hope into it because you know how the curse is, but I think we can, put our foot into the water a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I would want to see? It's not Nintendo, but I would love to see a Metal Gear Solid movie series.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's so many like gritty war movies, war spy movies that
maybe I'm just saying that because Metal Gear does so well with its cinematics.
Yeah, I mean they're basically movies already.
Yeah, so I would just like
with
I would
4-hour long cutscenes.
Problem is though, Metal Gear 1 and 2, you would have to like have the same guy, and then by the time Metal Gear 3 comes around, he would have to age really, really fast.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to see that.
Yeah. So, staying on the video game movie topic,
Okay.
It was also announced this week, or I guess we got more details on an upcoming Tetris movie.
This one, I'm just, why?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what this could possibly be about. I mean, I thought the same thing about Battleship,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw that, and it was about what I expected.
Yeah.
And
Isn't Rihanna in that movie?
yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, there's so many like Rihanna jokes I could have made right now, but I'm biting my tongue to save myself face. Okay, I gotta go for it. So you know how water's going everywhere? Just like open up an umbrella and she hides behind it.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't believe so. Anyway, a Tetris movie. Yeah, I don't even have a prediction about how that could turn out.
I have no idea what you would do with this.
I just hope that the music is really good, and as long as they accomplish that, I'll be okay with it. If not, then I feel like it's a waste of time.
I don't know, man. I just...
Yeah, I didn't...
I honestly have nothing to say at this point. I just... a Tetris movie.
I figured we wouldn't have much to say, but I thought that we had to bring it up.
No, it's true. It's just Tetris.
If you want to see... Okay, so there's this YouTube video called Tetris God by College Humor. Have you seen it?
Yes, actually I have.
Okay. If you're out there and you're curious...
Is College Humor still a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, like, because they're not as big as they used to
Yeah,
be.
well...
BuzzFeed took over that.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, if you're out there and you want to see a better version of the Tetris movie than the Tetris movie, go on YouTube, search for Tetris God. It's by College Humor. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long. It's pretty funny. Yeah. Okay, so now, if you remember last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, Brandon and I gave a rundown of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie lineup. And I thought that was a good chat.
I thought so too.
So now
it's only logical we do the next one.
Yeah, now we're going to do the same thing for DC. So first on this graphic here is Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice.
I think we've said everything we've needed to about that. Let's move on to the next one.
Next is Suicide Squad. Again, we've gone fairly in depth on that, and we haven't really seen much since the last time we talked about it, so I think we can just move on from there. So the next one, and this, now that I'm looking at it, looks fake, but on this picture it says Justice League Gods Among Us in 2017. Now, if you don't know, the game Injustice, which we already talked about on this episode as it happens, the subtitle of that game was called Gods Among Us. Now, this could mean one of two things. Either A, this picture here is faked, because I don't remember ever seeing it called Gods Among Us before.
It's definitely fake.
Okay, so then let's not talk about it. Now, if they
it would make a cool title.
If they made a live-action Injustice movie, I would have mixed feelings about it. A, the story for Injustice in the game, not even counting the comics, but just what's in the game is so good.
It is, yeah.
So, I feel like, as much as I would like to see it brought to life with live-action actors, at the same time, I feel like it probably wouldn't live up to what I'm expecting. And that's just my negative bias because I didn't like Batman vs. Superman. I'm not really looking forward to Suicide Squad. So I don't think that they could do as good of a job in a live-action Injustice as they would as the game version was. But if it was done well, then I think it would be cool. But I don't know.
I think so too. Even though I did like Batman vs. Superman, it's just one of those things where you're taking another story and you're adapting it to a different platform. And I know directors or producers always want to try to change something up or do things their own way.
Yeah.
Sometimes that goes good, sometimes it goes bad, and it's just a really risky venture.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think we would need to see that because Injustice by itself was such a good job.
Yeah.
And the universe is expanded with the comics as well.
Yeah.
Now, if they take some elements from Injustice, I would totally be okay with that. For me, I saw that with Batman vs Superman. Whenever the dream sequences would happen, when Superman goes rogue, I saw a lot of Injustice in there.
Rogue One.
Yes, Rogue One. So if they took elements from it, I'd be okay with that. If they made a whole movie based off of it, like Alex, I would have mixed feelings about it. But focusing back on Justice League, what do you have to say about it?
Well, the groundwork that they laid in Batman vs Superman obviously does not give me a positive outlook for a Justice League movie. Now, having said that, we don't know much about it. Like, we don't know a plot. We don't even know... Well, I guess we kind of do know who's going to be... Like, which League members are going to be in it.
Yeah.
So we know Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, obviously. Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg.
Yeah, I would say Cyborg's probably in there.
I think it's just them.
Are we not counting you-know-who?
Doomsday?
No.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Superman.
I said Superman.
I mean, like, they probably have to, like... The movie opens up with them trying to get him out of the coffin.
Oh.
And they're like, I'm still in here, guys.
Yeah, I don't think he would need any help for that.
I don't know, he was stabbed through the chest.
Spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah. That's why I said you-know-who. I thought you would catch on, but nope.
Voldemort?
Yeah. I don't know what to expect from this movie.
Yeah, me neither.
I was entertained. I liked Batman vs Superman. So
is Zack Snyder confirmed to come back as the director?
I don't know about confirmed. There's still talks with him. I know Jeff Johns is. He's definitely going to play a bigger part.
John Jones?
Yes, John Jones, the Martian Manhunter himself. I can't wait until he comes into the DC universe. If he does not, I am going to be so pissed. I swear. But Justice League. Like all the movies we've been talking about, the little hope is there, but just don't mess with my heart. So, you have any last thoughts about it?
Nah.
Not really?
Nah.
You want to just move on to Wonder Woman?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, I know Wonder Woman shooting, I think shooting has already been wrapped up with Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So, is it like early 2017 or?
Probably, I'm assuming. I would say this is probably is going to come out at the same time, around the same time which Batman vs Superman came out, so it was like March.
Yeah. Yeah, so Wonder Woman, like I said last week, I wasn't a huge fan of what she did in Batman vs Superman. That's kind of all I have to say about it. We don't know.
Of course, I have to be the optimistic one, and I'm looking forward to it, especially because I know from things I've seen and read that not all of the movies are going to take part in present day. I know it's going to take some of it's going to take place in the 1920s during World War One, and I'm hoping some of it takes place in her origin story. So all the way back in time when she was on Themyscira.
Themyscira?
Yeah. Did you say it like that?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was like I don't think it said it. In the game. She specifically says Themyscira.
No, I know. Yeah. I hear some people say it that way sometimes,
yeah.
And I just think it's a funny way of saying it.
Say it again.
Themyscira.
Themyscira.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. But I'm excited to see the world of the Amazons, especially with the whole female lead thing.
Yeah.
I know it's something that you're constantly beaten over the head about, but I think it's a really, really good thing to see. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited for Wonder Woman, mostly because this is now she gets her time to shine. Plus, unlike Alex, I really, really liked her in Batman vs Superman. So moving on to Aquaman. So Aquaman, which is going to come out in 2018. So here's my premise for Aquaman. So it starts off with him riding a horse. And he gets cut on his chest.
Just stop talking.
And then he's like, "Oh man, well this is nothing. I'll be totally fine." But his friend is like, "No, you gotta get this treated. You gotta get that taken care of." He's like, "Okay, sure." So he goes to some witch doctor and he tries to let that happen. Unfortunately, the witch doctor betrays him, And what ends up happening is he becomes a vegetable, and he can't move and he can't talk. And so his friend decides the only thing to do is to end his life. And when that happens, he gets transported into the sea and he begins to live out the rest of his life as a mermaid.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, so now that you all know the backstory of Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, we can actually talk about Aquaman.
But at least his wife's still alive.
So anyway, Aquaman gets a lot of crap for being like a useless
He really
hero.
Does. He really does.
But it's really unwarranted. He's actually really cool and really powerful.
You know what I blame? I blame that really, really early season of the show.
Yeah.
That always made him ride the seahorse.
Yeah. And there's that one thing of he's like caught in one of those six-pack, like plastic six-pack things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But Aquaman's super cool. So I hope they do like an extra good job on this movie just to kind of remove that stigma.
Mm-hmm. They have Jason Momoa playing him, so...
Yeah, that's... I don't know how I feel about his design.
I mean, I was very surprised about it. You know, it is reminiscent of, to me...
Khal Drogo.
Besides that, a little bit of his look from the Justice League show with the long hair and the beard. And there's also some other... I forget which incarnation, but he has a much more... What's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive look to him.
I don't really see aggressive. I see really like dirty.
You see dirty?
Yeah.
Like he's the hobo of the ocean?
Yeah, a little bit.
Even though he's still the king?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. You know what would fix it? If he braided his hair.
No, that would make it worse.
That's what the Dothraki did. Just bring more Khal Drogo into the role. Ooh, maybe he rides a seahorse in this.
I bet he does.
Man, can you imagine a seahorse that big? That's disgusting.
Maybe he's just really small.
So that image of him like shooting throughout the water is just like really, really like
Yeah.
close. Like...
All right.
Who would you want as the villain for Aquaman for his first movie?
I mean, Aquaman doesn't really have any bad guys other than Ocean Master.
Black Manta.
Oh yeah. Oh, I totally forgot about Batman. About Black Manta. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I would want Ocean Master first, and then Black Manta. Black Manta. Yeah. You remember that, don't you? Good old times.
If they do that, then do you think we'll get Aqualad / Tempest?
I would really love to have Aqualad. Ever since Young Justice, I've really loved him. You know who could play him? Chris Brown with blonde hair.
No.
I'm kidding.
Wesley Snipes.
What's this? Oh gosh, how old would he be? That's like
Michael B. Jordan.
Jaden Smith.
Oh no.
He starts quoting really weird things in the middle of the movie. Do I follow him on Twitter? I actually don't remember.
I thought he deleted his Twitter.
Oh, maybe he did, yeah.
All right, so next up is the Flash movie in 2018.
I really don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, so Ezra Miller as the Flash. Ezra Miller, best known for...
I don't know. I think the only thing I've seen so far was in the movie Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw the movie too?
Unfortunately. Yeah, actually, that's most of the reason why I don't think I can take him seriously as a hero, actually.
Especially what he did in that movie.
Yeah, let's not talk about that anymore.
Did you like the movie?
It was okay.
I thought it was okay.
My sister told me that it was super funny, and so Robin really wanted to see it, so we did. And then both of us were like, that was okay, but it wasn't great. I didn't think it was great.
It was funny at some point. It was one of those like comedy movies that had a lot of drama.
Yeah.
I call them dramedies.
Most people call them that, yeah.
Damn, I thought I should have patented it. Anyways, so it was funny, but there's a lot of drama, and it's one of those things where the balance really teeter-totters between the two.
Uh-huh.
Like Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
That was a major dramedy.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about The Flash.
That's true. Now, I don't know because I love the TV show so much.
Yeah.
They did such a good job.
Yeah.
With it. And Grant Gustin, who plays Barry Allen, I love him so much. Like,
Yeah, we talked about that
yeah,
already.
and so I'm so
With your hair
hey, shut up.
and your hipster
Don't
clothes.
be jealous, all right? Damn it, where was he going with this?
You love Grant Gustin.
Shut up!
You want to man pose to him.
I want a man pose him? What does that mean?
Manly proposal.
Oh, I probably could do that. I'll just like run up to him, throw the ring at him, run around and like get it on one knee. Anyways, but I'm already like he's done such a good job as the character of Barry Allen. Ezra Miller. First of all,
Well,
he doesn't really look like Barry Allen.
okay, well, we don't actually know that it's going to be Barry Allen. There are multiple flashes. He could totally be Wally West.
That's true, but does Wally West look like him?
Well, he could be another Flash.
Like Kid Flash? No, not Kid Flash. What was the other one? In Young Justice.
Bart Allen.
Is that the other one? Impulse. No, Impulse.
Yeah, that's Bart Allen.
Yeah, Impulse. He could be Impulse.
Well, he does time travel, quote unquote, in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
so that would
true.
make sense.
He just becomes all the Flashes.
It's like the Assassin's Creed of Flash.
Yeah. But I honestly don't know how I feel about this one. This one is one of the few ones I just don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, actually, I kind of don't know how I feel about all of them,
Well,
except for one coming up.
Green Lantern?
No, actually.
Okay. You want to move on into 2019?
Well, real quick, who do you think villains in the Flash movie? See, I don't think they'll go with Reverse Flash or Zoom just because
the shows are.
Yeah, I mean, actually, they've used most of his big villains.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
They could bring Grodd in.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. But
still.
Yeah. I don't know.
Captain Cold. Mirror Master.
Okay, next movie, 2019, Justice League Part 2. I don't have anything more to say about this that we didn't say about Part 1, so I think we should just move on. Okay, next one. And this is the one I'm really excited about, is Shazam.
I actually don't know what I feel about this one.
Interesting.
Because a lot of the attention is being shown with Dwayne Johnson, even though he's not Shazam. He's Black Adam.
Yeah. Well, because I don't think they've cast Shazam yet.
No, I don't think so either. Unless The Rock plays Shazam as well, so he just fights himself.
Why?
I don't know.
Nah, that would be too weird. Okay, so if you don't know who Shazam is, so Billy Batson is a 12 to 14-year-old kid. He is with his parents in, like, Egypt or something. So, somewhere, like, on an archaeological expedition.
That's how it always starts.
And he falls into this, like, tomb or whatever, and he meets this ancient wizard named Shazam, and he grants him the power of the gods. And he says... So basically what Billy has to do is he calls upon the name of the wizard, Shazam. He gets struck by a bolt of lightning, and he turns into a superhero. In this movie, he's called Shazam. He's also sometimes referred to as Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. But I think for the most part, they call him Shazam now. Shazam. Which is confusing because then there's Shazam the Wizard and Shazam the guy, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. They're obviously not going to call him Captain Marvel because there's going to be a Captain Marvel movie. Yeah, so I like Shazam a lot because anyone could be Shazam. You know, it's not that he was born on another planet and given powers. It's not like he was bitten by a radioactive spider, like... He wasn't he was chosen, but he wasn't destined to be Shazam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not anything special about him. He just happened to be in the right place, right time. And I just always thought that was a cool thing. I had this dream one time that I was Shazam, and so the next day I woke up and I was going to mass over at the chapel at school, and for whatever reason I was just walking, and then I just decided, I yelled at the top of my lungs, Shazam! And the way the chapel is set up is if you stand in the right place, there's like a really big echo, And so I yelled it, and then I heard this echo, and for this tiny, tiny, brief moment, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. But then, obviously, it didn't.
Not that you know of.
No, it didn't happen, Brandon.
Maybe when you become Shazam, you become unconscious and you don't remember.
Maybe. Anyway. Yeah, Shazam. Shazam's really cool. And I think that out of all of the heroes on here, he's definitely the least well-known.
Definitely, I agree with that.
So I think they have a lot of room to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like with Ant-Man or Doctor Strange on the Marvel side, where people aren't going to go in with any expectations or as much expectations other than like the really hardcore dedicated fans. So I think they have a lot of leeway here.
I think so too.
So I think there's a lot of potential. Obviously they could still mess it up, but I think there's potential. I also really like the fact that they cast The Rock as Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a really good choice. He's not the best actor, but he looks a lot like Black Adam, so
I'll give you that much, yeah. Sorry. What if you ask him, like, Sam, do you smell what I'm smelling?
Do you mean smell what I'm cooking?
No, he goes into, like, do you smell what I'm cooking? It was supposed to transition to the joke, Alex.
Oh, sorry.
Ugh. Moving on.
Okay.
To 2020, Green Lantern.
Reboot.
Yeah.
Now, I think this was like last year, but I heard that the Green Lantern movie was officially titled Green Lantern Corps, not Green Lantern or Green Lantern 2 or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that could mean a lot of things. It could mean nothing. It could be just a straight up reboot and they don't want to call it Green Lantern or give it a subtitle. They want to call it Green Lantern Corps, and that's fine. Or it could mean that it doesn't just focus on a singular Green Lantern. It could focus on really the team as a whole, or it could focus on the Guardians, or it could focus on more than, or like 2 Green Lanterns. I read one person speculating that they could make it like a buddy cop movie.
Oh, I can see that.
But with, 2 Green Lanterns, which I hope they don't go that route because, again, Green Lantern is one of my favorite superheroes. The whole Lantern part of the DC comic universe is really, I really, really like that whole aspect. So I don't want to see a dumb buddy cop movie.
It's like Rush Hour in space.
Yeah, please don't let that happen. Other than that, I think there's a lot of potential.
I think it would be a lot better if they do Green Lantern Corps, so you don't have to focus primarily on one character. You have a multitude of characters to have to focus on too. So you're not just stuck with one character.
Yeah. So who's your favorite of the Green Lanterns from Earth? Who's your favorite?
Guy Gardner.
Why?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Thank you.
I would have said Jon Stewart.
I think he's a lot of people's favorite.
I credit the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah. Do you remember the episode of Static Shock when he came in?
Yes, I did actually.
That was a really cool episode.
It really was. But Hal Jordan, he's a really close second. So between the two, though, I have to lean towards Jon Stewart.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan.
Despite what the Green Lantern movie did to me, Green Lantern animated series was so good that it brought it back up.
It was, yeah.
Even surpassing Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's super awesome. I like how his eyes get green whenever he's in Green Lantern mode. I like Hal Jordan's mask and everything, but Jon Stewart's eyes are really... I think that's probably cooler. But Hal Jordan,
yeah,
he's cool.
He came before Jon Stewart, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure about that. For the movie, though, I still don't know.
Yeah, they could really make it about pretty much anything. There's so much there that they haven't tapped into at all. I would love to see them square off against the Red Lantern Corps. I think that would be super cool. I
would actually really like to see Atrocitus.
Yeah.
On the big screen. They
could also face off against the what's the robots called? The Manhunters?
Yeah, the Manhunters.
Yeah, that would be a really good one to go with too. Yeah. Basically, I just want them to remake or continue on the legacy of the animated series because that's what they did in that show.
It should not have ended. No, it really should.
But we already talked about that. All right, so I think that's all we have to say about
Yeah.
Green
Then the
Lantern
next one
movie.
is Cyborg.
Yeah.
Booyah! Oh man, I hope he says it at least once during the movie.
Me too.
How do you feel about this?
I think I don't know, because I grew up with the Teen Titans, and so I always think of him as a Teen Titan and not part of the Justice League or as his own superhero.
It was actually only until recently he became a member of the Justice League.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
I think so. But not saying that he's not cool and not like worthy of being part of the league, because he's really powerful and like really useful. But because that's what I grew up with, I think of him more as a Teen Titan.
So you really have like that notion in your head about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a Cyborg movie could be cool. The teaser that they put into Batman vs Superman was definitely more interesting than either of the other two. So I think there's a lot of potential there. So, yeah, Cyborg movie.
And plus, I hope they make him not really young, but still like younger, so it shows he's still like dealing with these issues as a young person. I feel like that just leads to a lot more interesting development on his character.
And then last but not least, there's 2 untitled standalone Batman and Superman movies. The titles that they have on this picture that are definitely unofficial, but they have, for Batman, The Caped Crusader, and then Man of Steel, Last Son. The Batman movie, despite Batman vs Superman, I'm looking forward to a Batman standalone movie, especially if it's going to be directed by Ben Affleck. You know, I'm not a huge fan of his acting, but I think he's a really good director. So I think there's a lot to look forward to there. Another Superman movie, whatever. I don't care. But
I'm excited for both of them.
Yeah,
we get the 2 Titans back on the screen.
Well, I mean, they're going to be in both the Justice League movies.
Yeah, but like in their own respective movies. Batman, I'm definitely excited to see where they're going to take with this Batman. How they present his character, I don't know. I'm still iffy about that. Superman, I'm really excited for, because I actually am one of the few people that liked Man of Steel. So I'm very excited for another Superman movie.
Right on.
Yeah. Nice.
I think it's kind of a shame that the 4 movies that I'm looking forward to are like the last ones on the list. Like I don't have anything that I'm like super excited about until 2019. So that's kind of lame, but
you know, you can build up the hype.
Yeah, and I mean, I have the Marvel movies to hold me over. And I'm not completely writing off any of these other movies. I'm not super hyped for them, but they could be surprising, and we haven't seen anything from any of them, so there's a lot of surprises there. So that's it for the DC lineup. I think it could be stronger.
It's okay,
but until we know more,
you can't really make any judgments.
Yeah, but I think that there's a lot of potential. There's definitely potential. All right, now let's move on to finally talk about District 9.
Did you watch it?
I did.
And?
I liked it.
You actually liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I remember when this movie came out that I didn't really hear a lot of people talk about it. I didn't hear, I mean, granted, it came out in 2009.
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah, so
I think when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, that was before I was on any type of social media at all, so it's not like I would have really heard much about it anyway. But yeah, I was surprised at how good this movie was. I thought it wasn't as well received as it was. It was actually nominated for Best Picture, as it turns out, which I was really surprised at, just because it was a sci-fi movie, and those almost never get nominated for Best Picture. So I thought that was really cool.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. So we will be spoiling this movie, so if you didn't watch it, you had plenty of time to, so you have no excuse. So you can tune out. I'll put the timestamp in the description if you want to skip over it. But
okay, so just thoughts in general.
Thoughts in general.
Yeah.
So I thought that the beginning was super cool. Like the whole part with the documentary about using that
it's like
to get the plot going.
You would see like what happened in The Office at Return Green.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And then after they kind of moved away from the documentary style, It kind of lost me a little bit. I thought it slowed down as the movie went on. But yeah, the very beginning was really good. And I also thought that was a good reason why they were using the shaky cam. And then after the documentary part stopped, I was like, okay, well then why is the camera still shaking? I don't like shaky cam.
Me neither. I think this is one of the few movies that did a good job of shaky cam.
I guess. I don't know.
Considered like some of the other ones I've done it before.
Yeah.
It's like I think this is a better use of that technique.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know a lot of movies sometimes they overplay on that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like the whole backstory of the aliens?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I wish they would have explained more.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what happened to. I want to know what happened to the like pilots of the ship or whatever, like the leaders for the prawns. Because I thought that was really interesting, and while I understand why they didn't give us an explanation, I wanted to know more. But that's just kind of the way that I am. So
I think the movie did a good job of like just giving you enough information, but not enough.
Yeah.
So you keep wanting more.
Yeah.
Did you like the character?
Wickus?
Yeah.
Vicus?
Yeah. Wickus. But,
Yeah.
like, he has an accent, so it sounds like Vicus.
Yeah.
Because there aren't a lot of like major characters in this movie.
No, there really isn't. Yeah, I thought he was cool.
I didn't like him at first.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of not supposed to, I don't think, because when I was reading I read the Wikipedia page today about it, and someone pointed out that as he turns into an alien, as that slow transformation happens, he becomes more human.
Yeah.
As a result.
That was the motif of the film, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that I didn't think. After I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, he really does. It's really cool.
I didn't really like. It wasn't until like the very end when he decides to help Christopher that I actually thought, yes, I am rooting for this guy.
Yeah.
Because any other moment throughout the film, I had no problem with him dying or, messing up or anything else. Because even though it felt sorry for him, he was still a humongous jerk.
Yeah.
Especially to Christopher.
Yeah.
I really loved Christopher though, and his son. His son was cool, like how he piloted the exoskeleton to save Wickus.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So here's what I didn't understand was what the point of the like black ooze. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't understand what that was about. Because Christopher was trying to get it to
the ship,
right? But I didn't understand why.
That thing was like I think it was supposed to be fuel for the ship.
Okay.
And they had spent years getting enough for that little aircraft that they had, which would take them to the mothership. Now, I'm not exactly sure why it turned Wickus into an alien.
Yeah.
Maybe because I know a lot of their technology is based off of their biology. Uh-huh. So maybe being exposed to it made you be exposed to their DNA and their biology, which caused you to mutate. Uh-huh. I don't know. That's just my thing. I really liked the CGI in this movie, though.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Visually, this is a really, really good movie.
Yeah. I don't remember what I was going to say. One thing that I thought was that, so Christopher, the main alien in this movie, he has a very human name. And it wasn't given to him by the humans. It was Wickus asked him what his name is, and he tells him that his name is Christopher, right? So I know this is really like weird, but my speculation is that all of the prawns were humans, that they were somehow abducted by aliens.
Oh yeah,
like back in ancient times or something, abducted by aliens, taken into outer space, transformed into the prawns with this goo or whatever, and then brought back to Earth, like probably to take over, right? To conquer. And then, but the other aliens inside the ship died, and then the prawns were stranded on Earth or something. That's what I think.
I think that it just shows that Christopher isn't like the average prawn, because you see that the average prawn isn't exactly the smartest thing. And I feel like the prawns probably have like a hive mind or a hierarchy. So the smarter ones have a higher intelligence and they're more on top. So I just feel like he was probably maybe one of the leaders on the ship.
Maybe. And
he was just forced into subjugation by humanity. So he's probably taking the mothership back to their world to get help.
Maybe. I don't know.
You should watch the How It Should Have Ended of District 9.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I actually liked it. I was like, it makes sense after what the humans put the aliens through.
Yeah.
Which I really, really liked about this movie. It showed, I guess, how ugly we can be as humans.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it showed a really bad side for humans.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say about this movie.
There's because I've actually written about this movie twice for my film classes, just to talk about like the themes, because there's a lot of themes that you can recognize, like with, discrimination and oppression.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those elements in this film. I think the director said that one thing that inspired him, because it's in Johannesburg in South Africa, what inspired him for the concept was during the apartheid period, and you can see it's very reminiscent because the humans aren't allowed to have any contact or to merge with human society.
Right. No, that was. I'm not one to really try to pay attention to like themes and stuff when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
At least the first time, I'm just trying to like absorb the film and what's portrayed on screen, and then if I like it enough, I'll go back and watch it and try and dissect it. But I mean, the whole apartheid thing was like it was really in your face. Like it was kind of hard to not pick up on.
And I think, I forgot who mentioned it. I want to say it was the director, but I could be wrong, that the term that used for prawns is supposed to be like a derogatory term. The same way that you would refer to a black person as the N-word, or if you would say a racial slur to anybody, that's supposed to be what prawn meant to the aliens. So I don't know, you see so much underlying development underneath it. I just thought it was so cool. And we really like bring it into reflection to the real world. You see, if you replace the aliens with humans, it's pretty hard to watch. But that was my take for District 9.
Yeah,
I was very impressed by this movie when I first saw it.
Yeah,
so ever since it's been a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah, it was really good. So Bruno wrote in last week, and we didn't talk about it, obviously. So he said, District 9. Pretty sure I watched this one in theaters when it first came out. I remember thinking it was an excellent movie with quite a unique premise. After rewatching it, I must agree with my past self. The movie is great in pretty much every aspect. The story, the themes, the action, and the visuals, all great. I really wish the director/writer Neil Blomkamp would have made sequels to this instead of increasingly disappointing Elysium and Chappie. Now, I haven't seen Chappie.
I haven't either. Did you see Elysium?
I did see Elysium.
Was it good?
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
It's very similar to District 9 in a lot of ways. I'd say District 9 is probably a little bit better, but I didn't think Elysium was that bad.
Chappie, I heard like it did pretty bad with the reviews.
I don't even know what it's about.
It's about this police robot that is given artificial intelligence, so it actually learns. So basically,
it's Ultron.
It's basically if Ultron was innocent and he was actually nice. It was actually on our friend Kevin. I don't know if this is still his cover photo, but he has a picture of Ultron and Chappie fist bumping. It's pretty cool. But I'm glad Bruno liked District 9 as well.
Yeah, me too.
So do you want to, since we're all reading emails, do you want to go on to the next email?
Sure. Okay. So this one is from Sue. I don't know. She put her name as Sue.
Yeah.
So, or no, actually she signed it Susie. So go Susie.
We know.
So she says, Hello, just thought I'd ask. If you could pick 5 people, or maybe creatures, real or fictional, to be on your hypothetical zombie apocalypse team, who would you choose? Also, Brandon, the secret to beating Alex at Smash. Get good.
Damn.
You're welcome.
That was
Susie.
painful to hear. Thank you.
I mean, it is true.
Shut up. Okay, so...
By the way, I was playing some Smash today, so you better catch up.
Bruh. Okay, so who do you want to go first with this? You go first?
Me go first?
You go first.
Do you want to go one at a time? Or...
Let's do one at a time.
Okay, one at a time. Well, I think if you want someone on your team, you want someone who can't be infected by a zombie.
Yeah.
And who can't be infected by a zombie? A zombie. So I would have to go with Solomon Grundy.
Really?
Yeah, he's big, so he could block a lot of attacks from other zombies, and obviously couldn't be turned himself.
Yeah.
So I think he would be really helpful in a lot of situations.
And that's actually really, that's a really good one. Not bad. Let's see. Who would I pick? For my first pick, I am going to go with... I don't know who I'll go with. I'm going to go through that same kind of mindset as you did. I would like to have the White Walkers on my team. I will go with specifically
all of them?
one White Walker. The one that can resurrect the dead.
Okay.
Because if he has that capability, he essentially because they're zombies, the whatever they're called.
They're whites.
The whites, yeah. So he would most undoubtedly have the power to have influence over the dead. So if that was the case, if there's a horde of zombies coming towards us, he could help and direct like half the zombies to go against the coming army. And the zombies just try to eat each other, and they find out like, oh, there's nothing to eat, and they're just like, bleh. That's what I want on my team. My first pick.
Let's see. My second pick. So obviously, in the zombie apocalypse, you need somewhere to hide out, somewhere strong and fortified that the zombies can't penetrate.
Okay.
Now, there are many such places that you could go. A prison would be a really good place to go, as they do on The Walking Dead.
Really?
That would be a good place to go.
That's true.
I think a castle would also be a really good place to go. So I could get Nicolas Cage, because he's got a bunch of castles.
So you want to get Nicolas Cage?
That's not what I'm saying. I was saying it's a possibility.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he had zombie plans. Let's be real. And the only way to beat them is with the Declaration of Independence.
But another person who has a nigh impenetrable, whatever, Doctor Strange, the Sanctum Sanctorum. That's a really great hideout. Yeah, so I'm going to go with him, just chill in his crib.
Chilling like a villain?
Yeah.
Who is the next person I want to have on my team? I say I would want the Grim Reaper from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Because he is the Grim Reaper, so he has controls over the souls. And he also has the ability to have influence over the dead. Just like, the White Walker, but he has the I don't want to say he has the supernatural ability. They both have that. But he has contact into the underworld, so he can...
Hey, man!
Yeah. When he first said it on the show, I died laughing because he was talking about how Billy used up his long distance miles from calling from another dimension. He's like, that's so evil, man. But I would definitely want him to have the forces of the underworld on my side. Plus, he has the scythe, which has incredible powers with it. What about you?
Okay, so my third choice. Now, if you want to survive the zombie apocalypse, you're going to have to get your hands dirty. You're going to have to kill some zombies. So you want someone who's experienced at fighting the undead. Someone who's very good at fighting the undead is Blade. Now, zombies and vampires are obviously different, but I think vampires are more of a threat than a zombie is in general. Mm-hmm. Not in every instance, but in general. One vampire is a lot harder to kill than one zombie. So I'm going to get Blade so that he can cut off a lot of zombie heads.
Good choice. My next pick, I would want somebody who could control fire. Because you have to burn those bodies. True. And just to get rid of them so they can't... Because everyone knows that even though you can dismember a zombie, they're still going to come after you. Yeah. Only good zombie is a burnt zombie. I was about to say the only good zombie was a dead zombie, but I was reiterating the same thing. So who could I pick? I was going to say Charizard, but he could risk getting bitten. Anybody could risk getting bitten. But I would probably say Uncle Iroh. I'd want him on my side. I would also want somebody who was chill and laid back because we already have the stress of the zombie apocalypse. So all he has to do is just, burp really loud and kill off a bunch of zombies. And if it doesn't work, just redirect lightning, set a forest fire, and kill them all. What about you?
Okay. Well, if you're going to survive the zombie apocalypse, you're going to need food and water. Mm-hmm. So you want someone who can either make it for you. So, you could get Gordon Ramsay. No. But he would be too much of a pain in the ass to keep around.
I feel like we just throw him into,
Yeah, so, I don't know, Brock? Brock's really good at
that's
cooking.
true. Yeah.
But I really want someone who can like doesn't have to just cook food because that's only half of it.
Yeah.
Most of the problem is like getting the food. So who can conjure food?
Who can conjure food? Majin Buu.
He's annoying though. And also that's chocolate. That's not a healthy diet.
I'm sure he can make stuff.
Man, I don't know. That's not canon.
Okay.
Who can conjure food?
I'm actually at a loss right here.
Okay, I can't think of anybody who can just make food out of nothing. But Hermione Granger, she can transfigure or multiply food if you get it. So
She's not Jesus.
no, she
I'm kidding.
and she's also,
The brightest witch of our time.
yeah, the brightest witch of her age.
Same thing.
And her magic would obviously extend far beyond procuring sustenance and would be really helpful in combat. So I'm going to go with Hermione.
Good choice. Let's see. I think a good way to combat the undead is with things that aren't alive. And then what I'm trying to say is fight them with robots. You send an army of things that can't be killed. And if they try to eat them, they can't eat them and they can't infect them.
So all of you against all of me.
Yes. So you know who I'm about to pick. Ultron. But you know what's actually funny? There was actually a series that Marvel did, which was... Did you ever see
Marvel
Zombies versus
yeah.
Ultron?
Really?
Yes, and it was
Wow.
him against the Ultron drones. And the Ultron drones were really, really good at kicking the zombies' ass.
I mean, that makes sense.
So I would want Ultron on my side. I would want the Ultron that was covered in vibranium just to make him even more stronger. And all of his Ultron drones and just like... And after he like beats them all, he's like, see, there are no strings on the undead. So I would want Ultron on my team. And I'm talking about the movie one because I want somebody to have as much sass as I do. So we could just be throwing sass back and forth while we're fighting zombies. And as long as he doesn't do anything short of like bringing down a city onto the world to erase the zombie apocalypse, we're good. We're good.
Okay, so this is number 5, right?
Number 5, yeah.
Okay. All right, so the last thing you're going to want in your zombie crew is if things go to hell, if worse comes to worse, you need someone who can get you out of a tight spot in a flash.
Yeah.
So I'm torn between Nightcrawler or Chell from Portal.
Nice.
Now, Chell would be good because, I mean, a portal gun is just really cool, and I could also just steal that from her and then feed her to the zombies, and then I would have the portal power myself.
Okay, it's a little messed up, but
But
that works out.
you also have to rely on portalable surfaces, so that's kind of a downside. Now, Nightcrawler is good because he can obviously go wherever he wants to, but he has to be able to see it. That's kind of a weakness
Most
too.
of the time.
Yeah.
If he can just like really think about it hard enough, then it, like,
yeah.
And plus, he can be like, the power of Christ compels you.
Is there anybody else with teleport powers that I'm forgetting?
Cloak can do
Okay.
that.
Well, I think Doctor Strange could probably technically teleport.
A lot of them
too.
can teleport. It's just like not their main power.
Oh, and Hermione can apparate. Okay, I take it back. I don't need a teleporter then. What?
No, I'm just. I
Okay.
feel bad for Nightcrawler.
He's on his own, man.
True.
Okay. Well, let's see. What is my crew missing?
I think heavy weapons.
Heavy weapons.
Yeah, I feel like you always need heavy weapons. For
Okay.
zombie apocalypse.
Well then, heavy weapon. How heavy?
Heavy.
Okay. Well then, I'm gonna pick a steel type Pokemon
Okay.
because, again, can't be bitten, can't be turned, so that's always a plus. Now, my favorite steel type Pokemon is Empoleon. Actually, Empoleon's my favorite Pokemon in general. So that would be a really, really good one. And can't really come up with a better alternative on the top of my head, so let's go with Empoleon.
Nice. So I realized I didn't have any blade wielders on my team. You had Blade, which should have been a good thing to notice. So I'm going to go with Samurai Jack. Because he has fought multiple undead in the show. Always comes out victorious.
Yep.
Plus he has a magic sword. So why wouldn't you want that on your team?
Yep.
I think you and I would make it.
Yeah.
And if not, just we'll find people along the way and throw them to the zombies, like in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's a really great way to live.
Yeah. For some reason, I was trying to think, like, I need a SpongeBob character in this, but I can't think of one. Man, what if Aquaman was in SpongeBob?
I mean, there's... What's his name?
Mermaid Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Barnacle Boy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well...
He's like the version of Aqualad.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the question, Susie. That was really
That was
good
nice,
one.
actually.
Yeah,
That was
I never
good.
would have come up with that
Me
before.
neither. That was really fun.
Okay, so that's it for our emails. Okay, so our final segment is the fan favorite Kevin segment,
segments.
aka Fan Fic Fights.
So, what do we have today?
Well, I actually have a lot
Okay.
backed up. So I was trying to decide who to choose from. I think I'm going to go with Daredevil
Okay.
versus Kenshi from Mortal Kombat.
Ooh, that's a good one. Problem is, I don't know anything about Kenshi.
Well, then you better hope you win rock, paper, scissors.
Can I look it up real quick?
No.
Dude, what? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I win. I choose Daredevil. Oh my god. Oh my god. My heart is pounding so fast right now. You go first again.
Oh, me go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
So Kenshi is a blind swordsman. And he also has psychic powers. So I know that he uses telekinesis to manipulate his sword to fight people from a distance.
Oh, what?
And he also uses his mind to like push his opponents back, and he has this like spiritual like projection kind of thing where he like there's like a like spirit sword and he like slashes people. So even though he's blind, he can still see with his mind, basically.
Okay.
So that's really, really powerful. He's also a ninja, so he can probably mask his heartbeat so that Daredevil can't hear him. And he is a really powerful fighter, and he's not afraid to kill people with his fatalities. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. So this seems unfair because you're bringing the supernatural into this, but I'll do my best. So, Daredevil. Fighting ninjas is nothing new with Daredevil. He has taken on the hand almost single-handedly.
Not the foot.
Yes, not the foot. Not yet. That's yet to be confirmed. With the heartbeat thing, dude's got to breathe eventually.
Or does he?
I don't know. Does he?
I don't know.
And the sword, it still has to make sound. I'm going away from the spirit one. The spirit one I still have to come back to at some point. But the sword has to move. And as you know, Daredevil's senses are highly, highly acute. He can hear things that should be almost impossible to hear. He can smell things. Unfortunately, he can taste things too. Man, can you imagine what a fart must like be for Daredevil? He must like die every time somebody farts. What else? He is very proficient in many martial arts, with his billy club as well, which doubles the grappling hook, which gets him out of tight situations. He has custom-made body armor and a helmet made by... Crap, what's his name? Melvin? Yeah. I was thinking, like, just think of a very nerdy name. Melvin. What else can I call upon? The whole spiritual thing. That's something new. But I have a feeling Daredevil might be he might have a way of figuring that out because he can see what most people can't see. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to do it very enigmatic.
He could just like pray. And,
Oh yeah, call upon God. It's like
Yeah.
it's like stay away the evil one. Like, or he could like get the priest to help him out. Like exorcism, you got it. And he gives him
he's
like
not a demon.
fine,
That's Scorpion.
fine, whatever. Just and he gives him a cappuccino or a frappuccino or whatever he like made him, or a latte. I don't know what he made him. You're gonna have to find this out for me. What does he make?
I'm pretty sure it's a cappuccino.
Maybe you're right. Man, I wish Father Mike would make me a cappuccino.
He wouldn't share his coffee.
Huh?
He wouldn't share his coffee.
Yeah. He made me make him coffee one time. But that's what I have for Daredevil. He would put up a really good fight.
Yep, that would be a good one to see, even though they couldn't see it. Okay, so
We'll just have to see, don't we?
last point for Kenshi.
Okay.
Now, Daredevil has a code of honor.
Mm-hmm.
He will not kill his enemies, no matter how dangerous they might be. But Kenshi doesn't care. Kenshi will slice Daredevil up the second he gets the opportunity.
I believe that, but what about what he did to Nobu? He threw him off a building, knowing full well he would have died.
No, but he didn't die until Stick killed him.
Yeah, but Daredevil didn't do that.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I am very sure he had the attention.
Okay, well, then if Kenshi can make sure the fight takes place on the ground and not on top of a building, then he'll be fine.
Okay. This is a tough one.
I thought it was good.
I thought so, yeah. That's because you brought in the supernatural into this.
Well, that's his power, man.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well, that's it for this week's show. You can follow me on Twitter at AtariAlex. And I changed my Twitter bio, so now you can find the link to our YouTube channel and our iTunes page.
You did?
As well as Brandon's Twitter handle is in my bio. So go to my Twitter page, go to my Twitter account or whatever, and Brandon will be in there.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so now we don't have to say, just try and find him. What else? Make sure to follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube and on iTunes so that you won't miss any of our shows.
Mm-hmm. Send us emails and questions.
Email abcpodcast92@gmail.com. We love getting your emails.
I don't know. Anything else anything we have planned coming up?
No, I mean, new show next week as usual.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. I do have one more thing, actually.
Okay.
Brandon, I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
Will you be one of my groomsmen in my wedding?
What? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Hell yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah! Boy, I'm going to roast you so hard during the wedding. Be like, I remember this one time, and I'm just like going to chop on you at the wedding, be like, I still love you, Alex.
Great. I can't wait.
This is going to be fun.
Okay, so that's it for our show this week. We will be back at it again next week.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, enjoy and have a good day. And we'll catch you all next week.
Bye.